The Pawoodsman. We're just down here on the Red Bank Creek at 12 acres this weekend. It's Saturday, was the 11th of October, about 3:30 in the afternoon. Kind of early for my fire, but the black gnats are really bad and driving me bonkers. So I thought I'd start a little sooner and keep some of these gnats off of me. I'm by myself. I planned on taking this three-day weekend I had to do maybe a 30-mile hike or something, since I haven't really hiked that much. That one over at Crawford Vista was maybe 2 days combined, 12 miles, and other than that one with me and Ryan earlier in the season. So I really haven't done a whole lot of mileage this year. Well, I haven't been down here since the winter, I think. I came down here once. I might have been down here once since then with Ryan, but I can't remember fetch by off. So I needed a day for me. So I decided to come out solo, clear my head. Everything on the news has had me depressed lately, and I need to get away from the TV and stop thinking about what could happen. So, felt guilty being away from my girls with shit happening, but anything can happen any day, and gotta live life. Can't let things control you. That's when shit like that wins. I had this stuff called cedar spray. It's supposed to help with the gnats, but it wasn't working. The fire is helping. Hammock's right behind the camera set up where I typically hang it. I gathered all of my wood along the red bank itself, since everything gets to sit out in the sun and dry. This driftwood and that. What's up laying around here is, or even leaning, is still wet and spongy from the canopy not letting a lot of sun in. So I didn't feel like processing a lot of wood, and I got other wood here I can lay across here and burn later if I want to stay up longer. I slept into that. I slept until 10 o'clock. I normally get up at 4:45 in the morning for work, so. Got a liter of water here from down at the creek. I got a liter over at my pack still sitting and for drinking out of. This will be for my dinner. Nothing spectacular tonight, just some dehydrated chicken and mashed potatoes packed for my supper. So, high is supposed to be 56 today. It feels about that, but like I said, I was hoping it would keep the bugs down, but it wasn't doing it. So, but at least this fire's helping. A little bit of a wind out. Hoping the wind stays where it's at, which direction it's blowing, because I don't have my Superfly anymore. So I gotta watch how I put up my tarp, position the hammock so it blocks the wind. I've actually deployed the tarp just because of the wind. Leaves really haven't started changing a whole lot yet. We got some light yellows and pale oranges, but no bright reds or anything yet. Mostly oak around here anyhow, not a whole lot of maple. So, tulip poplar. So, warm fire. But, smarts of the right in my face when I'm trying to talk to you. I did that video here a week or so ago about survival and how it's going to be a short term, at least in my my feelings of how I train to survive is for, maybe a week or so, till if I would get hurt or lost or something like that, where I needed to keep myself going until I could get myself rescued by somebody or my family and us. And I still feel that's the way we're not going to be able to do this long term. There's just not enough resources out there for everyone. I think once we get out there, we're going to be on the run. We're going to be trying to keep distance from other folks because they're going to expect to take what's ours for them to survive. There'll be a lot of looting, hoping it never gets to that, but it's all about survival of the fittest. I'm not the fittest. 48 years old, 240 pounds, typical middle-aged man, That's like, there's a guy right now eluding police up on the Poconos here in Pennsylvania for a month. Supposedly a survivalist, Eric Brain, shot and murdered a state trooper and injured another one. And, I watched the videos and I was planning on practicing like one of those T-bar traps while out here, but I didn't bring enough paracord nets. I said, I ain't gonna mess with it. Brought my hatch and everything for that, but forgot paracord. I got some, but not enough. So, I probably have enough, but I just don't feel like messing with it right now. These damn bugs. But irregardless, I can't see you having enough time to set all these traps to catch wild game and be able to run and elude. He's got to have stuff stashed. This time of year, the wild edibles, or forget it, other than maybe some fruit trees, nuts, but he's finally gonna have to come out of hiding and surrender, or he's gonna start looting homes or cabins to get food to survive. But like I said, my opinion, some will argue with me and say, but yeah, the ones that are doing it now for fun, like I said, there's enough resources there for them. When the shit hits the fan, the resources are going to be scarce. There was a time when there was no deer back during the pioneer days, because people were just killing them all for food, for themselves. They were selling them. Look what happened to the buffalo, Well, enough of me yapping for now, guys. Just a yap. I'm gonna sit here, get out of the smoke for a few minutes and wait till I get hungry and throw my dinner together and maybe talk to you a little bit from the hammock. Or just enjoy some solitude. It wasn't like the solitude of Shud's recent video I got to watch. I know everyone that watches me watches Shud, but I know you do. And he was in an area where there was no planes, nothing. I hear some shooting every once in a while, a distant lawnmower going, planes going by. Not really hearing any boats in the water much this time of the year, so downstream. But you still, know you're near society here, so. Alright guys, enough of me yapping for now. We'll be back after. Well, I got some punty wood laying on that right now to keep the coals going. It really helped get the gnats out of here. And I think it's starting a little cooler, but I still see some flying around, so I think it's mostly the smoke that's been helping. So chilling down a little bit. I got my merino wool long johns on and underneath all this, and then I got my Montbell down jacket in the hammock. So I use it as a pillow at night. I got my black rock beanie hat in there and my baklava, so I'm ready for this evening. It gets colder. It's supposed to get in the 40s tonight, possibly the 30s, so we'll see. So, saw a gray squirrel earlier and had the radio on for a little bit, listened to some music, and decided to turn it off and see what I can see now. Only 5:30. I'll probably make dinner in about an hour. I went ahead and had a granola bar here about a half hour ago. Felt my stomach grumbling a little bit, so I did that. So, alright guys, I'll catch you along the night. Guys, got my chicken reconstituting in boiled water. Give it about 15-20 minutes. Still a little al dente, if you want to call it. So, then I got some 4 cheese mashed potatoes I'll add to it. Warm me from the inside out. I was actually incorrect on the time earlier. It was actually only 4:30. So, just going a little after 5 right now. The only bad thing about solo, sometimes I get bored easily. But that's alright. We'll make her work. I'm normally in bed early anyhow, so by the time it gets dark, I'll be sleeping. Maybe. I don't know, I slept in today, so I might not get to bed till a little later. So, should have brought my tablet with me, but get away from conveniences. Deer should start moving here pretty directly, probably next half hour. Archery season came in last weekend around here. Alright guys, if I see some wildlife, I'll turn on the camera. Until then, we're just relaxing, enjoying the solitude. Well, there's my hammock. I got a deer snorting to my left here. I haven't seen it yet. I think she senses me more than smells me because I'm in the smoke, and smoke is a very good cover scent. Didn't really show you the red bank due to the fact it's real low. It's not very appealing today. I almost guarantee that doe will be coming through later and snorting again. She normally does. Alright guys, talk to you after a bit. Alrighty, got the fire doing a little bit better now. Since it's starting to cool off, the sun's gone down. I had my supper, cleaned my pot, put it up with my food bag for the night. Now I'm just going to relax for a while until I get tired. Made sure I could reach somebody on my radio. Talked to a guy that was probably 30 miles from here. About, I mean, probably a little further than that, because he's like 15 miles from my house, and I'm about 35 miles from here. So, but I just wanted to make sure I could get out and somebody could hear me in case of emergency, since my cell phone coverage back here is hitting this. I also have my beacon with me, of course, which probably in about 2 years I'll have to be sending it back to get a new battery put in. By then they might have something a little bit different I might look into, because you figure it's going to cost me $1.50 for a battery, $150 for a battery to be put in. If I can find another half decent beacon that gives me the option of maybe even sending a message home without a crazy subscription fee, I'll look into it. But Spot's ridiculous, and I'm not doing their automatic thing. So had some chipmunks chipping, running by me, and a couple deer snorted, but other than that, haven't seen anything itself. Battery's flashing red. Good thing I threw an extra battery in my ribs pack. Alright guys, unless something really interesting happens by the time I go to bed, I will see you folks in the morning enjoying my coffee and grits from the hammock. Should have slept with my fuel last night. See if that gets going. A little cold. Just waiting for it to blossom out. On top and get some warm coffee and grits inside. There she blows. Alrighty. Got me a piping hot cup of coffee. Too damn hot really to drink right now. Would have liked to had a a nice bowl of grits or oatmeal to go with it, but some knucklehead here forgot to put it in the food bag. I thought I left it in there last trip, but when I cleaned up, I must have pulled it out by mistake. So that's okay. I have a couple of granola bars and I already had one, so that's sufficient for me. And got some pink salmon. That's expired like a week ago on the pitch, but I had a good night's sleep other than having to get up and a few times in the middle of the night take care of nature calls. And I hardly drank anything yesterday. Might be a part of my sleep apnea, but I don't know. I've always had that problem. But slept warm. Now I went ahead and put down my my blue pad on my feet last night, just to be conservative and cautious in case it got that cold that my feet would get cold, which they managed to get a little cold. Should have would have been a lot worse without the pad. I should have put my socks back on, but I was comfortable. So, well, first time I had my pad just laying underneath my top quilt, then I sat it in the foot box, and that warmed them up just like immediately. So. Full moon out last night. Woke up this morning and one time it was pretty foggy. I was up wide awake at daybreak, but I fell back to sleep until 8:45. Or was it 9:45? Now my watch is in the clock now behind me. I try to pick things up while I'm letting the coffee cool down. That way nothing gets left behind. And one less thing I gotta do. The only major chore I'm gonna have is waiting to put that blue pad back into my ohm. I took out the existing pad that came with it for the back for the support, and I used the blue pad in there in place of it because I use it anyhow for this, and one less than in the bag, but it can be a bugger to put back in. So, well guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end this video for now. Probably lasted me yapping unless something really remarkable happens. I'm going to try to get some stills probably on the way out. This is a beautiful blue sky out today, and get this video edited and up sometime today. 4 crows flying over by. Reminds me of a video I was watching on Facebook somebody had posted the other day. The girl had her white bicycle helmet on. I think she was over in Britain, was pedaling along, and a hawk came down, hit her in the head, and she started screaming for her mom to save her and to get it off and all this other stuff. I felt bad for the girl, but it was pretty funny. So, alright guys, as always, I want to thank you for watching the Pawoodsman and joining me in another solo trip this year. I pray that all of you are safe, and God bless.